All right, everybody. Welcome to the Dark Asylum podcast and fuck Kevin Nash. I am your host, and I have more than 5 moves in my arsenal. I am the chosen one, Zach Winters. And with me, as always, is somebody who's not lazy and not entirely clumsy in the ring, Darkness.
Hey, everybody.
And another man who has never blown out his quad during a hot tag, Big Vicious.
Just a knee.
The knees are different. Those are moving parts. It's okay.
Oh man, fuck Kevin Nash. Autumn is right around the corner. I am sitting in my closet. I have a hot cup of from Dusk Till Donuts from Bones Coffee. Send us sponsorship money, and I am ready for this. It has been a hell of a week.
I've been wanting to try that coffee. It's like $20 a bag, though.
Yo, it is so worth it.
Does it actually taste like the flavors that they say?
Yeah.
Or is it just like a hint of?
No, like I'm drinking Dusk Till Donuts, and it is like legitimate. Yeah. It is like legitimately like a raspberry donut.
Damn! Like you dunked a donut in the coffee and then just let it sit there.
Yeah. So my favorite,
bitch.
Bones Coffee. If you're listening, I will take free samples. My favorites are Dusk Till Donut, the strawberry cheesecake, and the electric unicorn, which tastes just like Fruity Pebbles. And I teamed that with my Cinnamon Toast Crunch coffee creamer. Ooh, girl, make that pussy wet.
Oh my god! It's like drinking breakfast cereal right there in your cup.
Welcome to the coffee corner. I don't know your coffee making situation. I am a huge snob. I have my French press right here. And that is how you're going to get the best flavors. Don't fucking come at me. And I know I'm going to get hate mail for this. Don't come at me with your fucking Keurigs or your dollar store coffee pots. You could kiss every inch of my ass with that shit. French press or slow pour is where it's at. So what if it takes me 20 minutes to make a cup of coffee?
I have the cold coffee, the cold brew coffee. That's what I like.
Ew.
Because
you're lucky we're lucky you're an hour away from me, because I would have slapped you in the face if you told me that.
It's good that we don't get together to do this live show until after this virus is done, because we catching elbows and knuckles upside the head.
Out of open hands, slapped you in the mouth for telling me that.
But I have those flavors that I put into them afterwards, so it's not as vile. So, yeah.
And Keurig is straight water. I don't care who the fuck tells me, oh, it's the same thing. It's not. It tastes like water.
This coffee-flavored water.
That's what coffee is, you fucking idiot.
No, it's just water with a hint of coffee. That's what I mean.
Fucking bean water. That's basically what it is.
Hey. No racial slurs around.
Whoa.
Yeah, what are you doing? You're just throwing off. Well, I don't know. We just lost a listener.
Hashtag cancel darkness.
None of them are in Mexico, so we're okay.
Oh, good.
But welcome our Australian listener that we've just found exists. And how's it going out there? Okay.
Were you expecting him to talk back?
I just wanted to throw that in there. I didn't expect him to be like, "Hey, mate, how's it going? Hi, Dunkaroos."
Oh, cool. We just lost him.
I wasn't expecting a response. Now he's gone. Damn it. I'm sorry.
Oh, man. How the fuck have you guys been this week?
I've been good. Not much to report on the smiting. We lost internet for 20 minutes today, and I was panicking like, oh, great, that's it. That's the show for me. And it sucked, too, because I was right in the middle of the boys.
Oh.
But, so it was a light smiting.
It was a good one. No, that was a pretty heavy one. It was a good episode this week.
Yeah, but as far as getting smited goes, missing part of they came back on and I finished it, but missing a little bit of it wasn't so bad. We had a huge ass thunderstorm, and it basically blew all the toxic smoke air that we were dealing with away. It just was gone.
Yeah.
So it was like 2:00 in the morning, I think. Thunder, lightning. I mean, it woke everybody up, but it was worth it to get rid of all the toxic smoke in the air. So It turned out it was a smiting because it woke us up, but it turned out to be a good thing
dude,
in the
like,
long run.
yeah. So we got a little bit of the thunderstorm over here, and it was nice and pretty. And my daughter's never really seen lightning, so she was having fun with it. I go to bed. I have my window open, and like you said, 2:30 in the morning. Like, you know, when you're asleep and you still see like light as it's waking you up. I see that
through your eyelids.
Through your eyelids, I see that, and I just hear, boom! Fucking, I jump out of bed. My wife is fucking terrified. I just close my window and go back to sleep. I'm like, yeah, enough of that.
Yeah, I had my cat. She was asleep on my lap, like I was laying down, and she used my nutsack as a springboard to jump away from me. So I was like, oh, motherfucker. Yeah, it was fun. It was a nice way to wake up. Just this thundering boom and then being basically kicked in the balls. So
by an animal with like needle-like claws.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, but, you know, everything turned out for the better, I guess, because, you know, I can go outside again.
Yeah.
When I say outside, I mean I can go out back and rake leaves. I can't go anywhere, but, you know.
Your wife doesn't let you?
No, I got to sneak out like high school, you know.
Jeez.
It's okay if I wear a mask. But then I walk out with my Michael Myers mask, and she's like, no, that's not going to work. You can't go to Walmart wearing that.
Fool me 8 times, shame on me.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, man. So, big story this week. PS5, and it turns out Xbox pre-orders fucking up all over the place.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because I read all these stories, and A, I don't have enough money put together to buy either one. And B, it's always been my experience that the first generation of these new systems have some huge flaw that they don't work. So I'm just sitting back watching all these people panic, not get their systems, and then
fuck, like last generation wasn't the Xbox Ones like legitimately like catching on fire and shit?
Yeah, that was those, and there was something with the PlayStation, like
PlayStation
I
was.
don't remember what it was.
People were sitting it upright, I don't know if you're supposed to sit it upright, but it was knocking the discs loose and scratching the shit out of them.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, I mean, it is. You can set it up either way. So
yeah. But
I guess I didn't take that in consideration. I remember the only time it was beneficial to get like the first generation of the new system was PlayStation 3 because it was backwards compatible, and then they did away with it for some reason.
I actually was one of the lucky few to actually get a pre-order. A friend of mine was able to score one for me. But
which one was it?
Was it a PS5?
PlayStation?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But like I was sitting there. I can't remember which side I was on, but I was on. I think it was like Best Buy, and I had one. I was excited. I had one, and between getting it in the cart and putting in my payment info, it got snatched out of my cart.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It was worse than a Black Friday.
Oh, fuck. No, because at least Black Friday, I know how to fight. I could fuck somebody up for taking shit out of my cart. This one was just some...
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not as bad as Black Friday because you didn't get stabbed.
Yeah. You guys... So nobody else has an experience with that? I'm the only one who's sad enough to fucking... I got to get it right away.
Yeah.
No, you know...
I'm waiting.
Okay.
Huh?
No, now he's not talking.
Well, no, I just said I'm waiting. I'm not going to rush out there and get it.
I really want to play fucking Demon Souls and Spider-Man.
Let's see, Spider-Man's coming out on PlayStation 4, so that was one of the big things where I was like, oh wait, it's coming out on PS4. Oh, screw it, I don't need to go out.
Yeah, but I really like the shiny new graphics and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I like Spider-Man, but not enough to invest in an entire system that I barely played.
So you see why Darkness is sitting there playing the game, and you're over there getting all the fuck ups and not being able to play the game, and it crashes on you. You know, Darkness will be able to sit here and laugh.
Oh no! If it catches,
as his house catches on fire.
Oh, if it's as bad as that, if it catches on fire, Daddy's walking away with a fat paycheck. Might be talking to the newest owner of Sony.
Yeah. Speaking of the video game and the ownership, I mean, I don't know if you want to jump into this one right now, but the console wars are heating up a little bit with Xbox buying Bethesda.
You legitimately read my mind because I was looking for a way to segue into that.
Yeah, this is insane. So, was it $7 billion?
$7 billion for 2,700 remakes of fucking Skyrim.
Yeah, well, see, this is the thing, though. I mean, there is some benefits here. I mean, they can legitimately now make a successor to Fallout Vegas.
Yes, hopefully.
And so that excites me. Yeah, hopefully.
Like,
if they don't
I'm not
screw it up.
too upset about it because I have a pretty decent gaming PC, but it's going to be very interested to see if like if a new Fallout or new Elder Scrolls comes out, if those are just going to be Xbox exclusive, Xbox and PC exclusive, or if they're going to have like delayed releases for the other two.
Yeah, it's a lot of people are worried about right now. It's advantageous for Xbox to leave them as console exclusives, but it's more profitable if they put it on both.
Yeah, I think it's going to be kind of like a hostage situation where like, oh yeah, Sony, you can have the new Doom, but you got to pay this much in licensing fees.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, they can really kind of get over on Sony for this.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, basically with Bethesda, everything that they bought, I mean, the three biggest things that come to my mind is Skyrim, which is all the Elder Scrolls games, Fallout, which is all the Fallouts, the old stuff, the new stuff, whatever expansions they want to do, anything like that, and Doom, like you said. I know there's more.
Wolfenstein, Dishonored.
That's right. Wolfenstein was the other big one.
And,
so
like,
all the ID stuff.
And it's going to be kind of interesting from a content standpoint, too, because Bethesda's kind of been fucking the pooch on this one. Because the new, like, Fallout 76 was garbage. And the new Wolfenstein, where you play as Blazkowicz's daughters, that one was trash, too. Doom Eternal was fucking awesome.
Yeah, Doom was good. They still have a couple... I mean, Skyrim... Like you said, that thing's on. You can get that thing to play on your toaster, for God's sakes, you know. But it's all over the place, and if they made a Skyrim 2, it would crush.
Yeah,
PlayStation. It would be one of those things that they could have a knockout blow for the console wars, you know. And the whole thing pisses me off because I hate console exclusives. If you're going to be judged on anything, be judged on your hardware. You know, don't sit there and be like, oh, we have this, and that's the only way. Okay, so your system sucks, but you got a game I want to play, so guess what? I'm stuck.
I'm just going to sit over here and hug The Last of Us and Spider-Man.
Yeah. I mean, those, what else do they have? I mean, it's so funny because the last
Bloodborne
series of Xbox games, Bloodborne I do have, but Xbox really didn't have anything that was really exclusive to them. I think they were doing a poll, and they had Halo, they had Sunset Overdrive, they had maybe a handful of games that were just exclusive to them
that nobody gives a shit about because I don't know if it's I haven't picked up a Halo game since the 360, but I guess Halo games are just out now, and nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah, they released the Master Chief Collection, I think was their biggest one that they just came out with. But yeah, I mean, as far as console exclusive, Microsoft really doesn't have much to speak of.
No.
And this could be the way for them to have much more than Halo to speak of as far as exclusives.
Or like I said, they'll hold them hostage and be like, hey, you could have Elder Scrolls if we get the Last of Us 2 remaster or whatever.
Yeah. It's, you know, people are saying Sony needs to buy Konami. I mean,
no,
really? That's like their biggest thing is that they can buy to compete with what's just happened.
Konami doesn't give a shit right now. Konami's busy making fucking pachinko games.
Yeah. It's so funny because you think about it, Konami is so much bigger than Resident Evil and Metal Gear Solid. They have like pachinko games.
Silent Hills?
Old Silent Hills too. But I mean, they've got other things out there.
You're thinking about
people
Capcom.
Don't realize. Oh, Jesus! Yeah,
do not mix Capcom with Konami.
Konami is.
What
the hell is Konami?
Shit.
Okay.
They're busy making the pachinko machines. That I'm still pissed off about that. Where they're like, "Hey, there's going to be a new Silent Hill game," and everybody gets excited, and they're like, "It's a slot machine." Fuck you.
It was like when Blizzard did Diablo 4.
Yeah.
They're like, we have a big announcement about Diablo, and they're like, "Oh, it's gonna happen! Look at the new mobile game." They're like, "Oh!" Then the guy got booed off the stage.
That was so fucking funny when he was just like, "What? Don't you guys have cell phones?" And everybody you got so much. Oh, as a wrestling bad guy, I wish for that kind of heat.
Oh man, yeah, it was just when shit goes south. It's
my god,
live in person,
it was
you can see
so
that man's
fucking
soul
funny.
just get crushed.
He was so expecting everybody to be excited about it, and then they just boo him out of the fucking building.
Yeah, there's nothing like some big execs looking at women in the front couple of rows, picking them out for the security to grab and take backstage after he makes his big announcement, only to find out that he's getting cell phones thrown at him from the back row. That was a great announcement.
That and the last like 3 Metal Gear Solids were trash too.
Oh yeah, you can usually tell a game that's really big, as far as name, that drops down to $9-10 on the store after a while. But yeah, I remember Sons of Liberty?
Sons of Liberty was the second one, I think. That one was kind of trash too. But no, Metal Gear Solid was awesome. Metal Gear Solid 2, Phantom Pain was awful.
Phantom Pain. Okay, that's the one that's like you can get for $5 on the store.
Snake Eater and number 4 were really good. Revengeance was surprisingly good. And yeah, Phantom Pain was awful. Like,
I just remember being so disappointed that I bought a PSP for the new Metal Gear game, and it turned out being that fucking card game. I was like, "What is this shit?"
In Metal Gear 5, I'm fairly certain that Kiefer Sutherland like charged by a word, because in every Metal Gear Solid, you can't get Snake to shut the fuck up about Godzilla movies or whatever the fuck he's going off about. And the most you get out of Kiefer Sutherland is
Yeah, I didn't even play that one.
Oh, don't.
So
it was awful.
Yeah, 7.
I got it for free.
Oh yeah. Oh, wasn't it on like PlayStation Pass or PS Plus or something?
Yeah,
like
it was on PS Plus, but it's been on PS Plus like I don't know how many fucking times.
That's crazy. 7.5 billion though. Xbox paid for all those games. But, I'm curious to see what they do with it. I mean,
I'm excited.
Yeah, it could be interesting.
Kicking the ass they need.
So I'm gonna be weird and be the Xbox guy or what? Because that's the one I want to get.
I got my PS5. I'm happy.
Yeah.
Oh god.
See, I got both sitting here now. I got the Xbox One and the PS4, and I've got way more Xbox games than I do for PlayStation. So,
really,
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I got Bloodborne and Black Ops 3 because a bunch of people at my old job were playing it. WWE 2K something or another. I can't even read it from here. And then Mortal Kombat X, and that's about it. That's all I got.
I've never been more sad than you describing your game library.
That's my PlayStation library. If you want me to get into my Xbox one, that's a lot more meatier. Don't even worry about it. But yeah, it's just I have more people that I play with on the Xbox. So
I play with myself. So
I get in trouble if I do that too much.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like she could
doctor.
tell.
Yeah, I mean, the scarring and stuff like that.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, we finally got V to say
Are
something.
you jacking off with sandpaper?
Oh, it's the only way I can get any feeling out of it.
I'm just beating it raw so much. It's all the scar tissue that's growing on it. It looks like when a potato gets like really old and starts growing eyes on it.
Oh, that's all right. I'll start calling them eyes. No, honey, they're eyes, not scars. They're not gaping wounds. They're eyes.
Think of it like ribbed for her pleasure, only disgusting.
Jesus.
Those aren't pustules. Those are eyes. It's okay. We pop a few. We got no lube. It's fine.
Oh, God.
And right there, we just lost half of our customer base. Awesome. And if my wife is listening, I apologize. We know it's real. It's okay. We don't have to. We don't have to listen to them.
She's not even in the room, and she owns you.
Because she listens later, and she's like, take for example, we went through the story about the Chris Evans dick pic, and so she's listening to that, and she's like, "Why didn't you tell them the whole story?" I'm like, "Because they would have just given me shit." She's like, "Isn't that what you guys do?" I'm like, "Well, yeah." She's like, "Why didn't you tell them the whole story then?" I was like, "Why would I have gone through that and set myself up on a tee stand so then knock it out of the park?" It's not even baseball. It's t-ball.
Because you ran to your wife like a giddy little child. Honey, check out this picture.
No, if you must.
That was the most unconvincing no ever.
No, it was funny because she's like, "Oh, did you hear about this?" And I bring her the picture. We went through all this, and then she looks at it. She's like, "Oh, yours is much bigger than that." I'm like, "Oh, well, thanks." But if I say that to you guys, all of a sudden it's like, "Oh," and you guys would go off on me for like 20 minutes, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna fight that shit into myself."
Oh my God, I'm crying.
It's okay. She does too, usually.
Because of my big old meat hog.
Oh,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
I don't know if she was lying or just being nice.
Oh,
She's
she's
a nice
so
wife,
full of shit.
But this is what I knew it was gonna come, so that's why.
Oh my God. I've been in the locker room with you. She's full of shit.
What the fuck?
I didn't know you could be partially circumcised.
And this is why I didn't say anything.
Oh man, you can't even be mad at me now. You have to be mad at her about it.
Oh no, definitely. I'll give her some shit. That's fine.
I told him the story, and the other boys made fun of me and my gigantic penis.
Yeah. She's like, "You're complaining that they made fun of you for having a huge penis. What the fuck's wrong?"
Has she not heard the fucking 12-year skit I've had about Big V's gigantic balls?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. That's not a skit though. That's legit. I don't. Fucking guy's got a beanbag chair wherever he goes.
Well, my fucking little penis needs something to rest on.
Dick may not be impressive, but the balls on this motherfucker, yeah.
Oh my God. Why does that woman have a bruise on her ass?
Fucking 2 bowling balls
my
in a
God.
goddamn skin sack getting flushed at her. He just laughs. He loves it. He's like, "Yeah."
With little fucking pee-pee dick. Oh my God. All right, we have gone off the rails. Fuck it.
There we go. All right, so video games. You want to keep going into the bullshit that these pre-orders have gotten into? Like, you're telling me something about England or something?
Well, real quick, I was looking into and like, so for an Xbox X or whatever bundle package, it was like almost $1,000.
Holy fuck.
It was like,
what did it come with?
It was like a game, a headset, 2 remotes, and I think like a year of Game Pass. But I was just like, Jesus Christ. I'm like,
well, Well, PS5 does the same thing, but it's like $750.
Yeah, they had like a bunch of they had like some 750 ones. There was just a bunch of different prices I was looking at, and I looked at the one because it had Valhalla with it, and it was $1,000.
Also, it came with a game.
Well, yeah. Even one package was like $743. It came with a game, but I don't know. I wasn't like reading too much into it because I'm like, I ain't getting this shit yet.
The $1,000 package, Bill Gates personally comes to your house and fillets you while you play the game.
Can it be his wife?
No.
I don't know. Does he have the same wife? I don't remember if he had that one that wasn't too bad looking, but
careful, big boy,
Jesus.
just don't get over my glasses.
Well, he's simultaneously trying to microchip you and give you a vaccine.
Oh, he's just like pushing the microchip down into your urethra.
Yeah, there you go. Bag 'em and tag 'em, boys.
Got another one.
The way that video game systems that have been given out through the years, like a Nintendo was $100 brand new, and it came with Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
And then it was funny because growing up, I had a friend who wanted a Sega so bad, and his parents bought him one. And they ended up buying him the core system. And on Christmas, he didn't have a fucking thing to play.
Oh.
So he just had this Sega system sitting there in the box. No Sonic the Hedgehog, no controller for his little brother, nothing. It just sat there in the box. And they're like, well, why aren't you playing? I don't have any games. Well, we don't have any fucking money.
Spent all of it on this.
What the fuck? So that thing sat there for like 4 or 5 months. And he finally got a game from somebody at school. Like, he saved up his lunch money or something. I don't remember what it was. But he ended up getting a game, and he's Golden Axe.
Golden Axe was awesome.
That was a badass game.
No, it was. It was. But, like, having to wait for so many months, that was ridiculous.
With this $300 paperweight.
Yeah, it's sitting in the box still.
Dude.
And he's like, didn't you see? It says what's in there. And you're like, oh, we didn't know. We just got you the
thing that pissed me off about the Sega. So I bought, I'm going to bring this up, the Death of Superman video game, Death and Return of Superman. And the thing is, there was no save option. You had to play it all the way through. If you shut it off, you lost everything.
Yeah.
So I would be playing before school, then I'd hit pause, and I'd take off. You get back in this machine, just like radiating fucking heat. You're like,
it's like red hot.
You walk into the room and start sweating. You're like, what the fuck? Is there a heater on? Oh no, it's the Sega.
It's that. It sounds like a fluorescent light.
Yeah, that fucking pissed me off. Or then if it would glitch, you had no like checkpoint. It was like you started all over.
Well, see, that's what kids these days don't understand. If you wanted to start a game back in the day, you had to have a whole day for it because you're going to start it and you're going to finish that motherfucker.
Right?
Yeah, it was crazy the way, like, only certain games had that little battery inside of them. And I remember, like, what the hell is this thing? It's like, oh, that's what actually saves your games. But, people pick up Adventures of Zelda.
Yeah.
The battery's been dead for like a decade inside there.
Well, shit. Remember how revolutionary the fucking 64 and the PlayStation were because you could save the game on here. You could just turn it off.
Yeah, the memory cards. I remember that. That was awesome. I mean, I had a friend that had the same game or didn't have the same game even. You just take the memory card in the game to their house, and you had all your stuff there. It was pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
It's just another way to sell stuff to you, I guess.
That and fucking. Remember how mind blowing it was when voice acting became popular?
Yeah. Do you remember Wing Commander?
The funny thing was, I was just looking at it on my phone because I was going to bring up Wing Commander.
It had Mark Hamill, for God's sakes.
And then they
Wing Commander and Command and Conquer.
They made that sorry ass movie with fucking Freddie Prinze Jr.
They turned it into a real movie, but the movie on the game that you played was actually better than the movie that they put out by Hollywood.
Oh yeah, dude, that game.
I remember that was hot shit back in the day.
Fuck. Well, those were also computer games too, and computer games were a little bit more advanced.
Yeah.
But everything was like it was
Yeah.
still like advanced computer games, but everybody was still like shitty and pixelated.
Well, like playing Double Switch and Night Trap on Sega CD.
Sega CD.
That was some of the worst video, like grainy ass footage.
Oh man, I just had this really vivid like flashback of playing Command and Conquer, and Tim Curry with that fucking awful Russian accent.
Well, there was some. What are some of the other celebrities that did stuff?
Michael Ironside.
GW. Michael Irons. He was a big one for that series, right? And it wasn't like the guy that played Commandant Lassard, like G.W. Bailey.
Oh,
not Lassard. It was the other guy. I forget his name. Not Proctor. Not the other guy. I don't remember. But he was in a few of them as like a general or a colonel. And then what the fuck? They had Ric Flair one time.
did they?
He was in one of those games as like a general or something.
I don't remember
gotta look this up because I remember it distinctly.
Are you sure it's just not the CTE acting up?
What?
I-
the hell was he in? He was in. Oh, give me a second.
Uprising Commander
he
Hill
was in-
cutscenes.
There you go.
Red
I'm
Alert
not-
3 Uprising. Ric Flair attacked by a
That's
bear.
what it was.
What the fuck?
You didn't know about this? That's right.
I don't remember
He
any
was
of
like,
this. Oh, I have a whole
Yeah, Ric Flair.
YouTube rabbit holder fucking go down when I'm done.
Yeah, Ric Flair was like, he took over one of those jobs where he like yells orders at you and shit, and it's just like, it's fucking Ric Flair. What the hell is this?
I've been a wrestling fan since I was fucking 5. I've had enough of Ric Flair yelling at me
Yeah.
with a tear
was it?
in my eye.
So what's the game that he's in?
Command
Red
and Conquer. Red Alert 3 Uprising.
Alert 3. Okay.
Like there's just one video that says Ric Flair attacked by a bear, and I really want to watch that. He just screams and blood starts fucking shooting out of his forehead. Oh God!
Yeah, there's all kinds of crazy shit out there. People did those motion captures for those games, and they did the little cut scenes and stuff like that. So there's a whole cornucopia of shit like that.
Now I gotta make sure. Like, I really hope like Terry Funk's in one of these now.
Oh, that would be awesome. I was always so tripped out watching him show up in movies. Like, hey, that's fucking Terry Funk.
Because he just showed up randomly. Like, I'm 95% certain he was just showed up on movie sets. Hey
Yeah,
guys, you all got a place for me?
It was crazy because I was watching Roadhouse.
Yeah,
he's like kind of a big heavy in that one. He's not like a little side character. He's actually got a couple of lines and everything, and then he gets his ass kicked by Patrick Swayze. So.
like, isn't it weird how like when pro wrestlers are next to pro wrestlers, you can't really judge how like big or small they are. But like even Terry Funk, you put him next to Patrick Swayze, and he just hulks over him.
You wouldn't think Terry Funk. Ooh.
Terry Hunk is my adult film star name.
Terry Hunk. Ooh.
Terry Funk was that big of a guy just by looking at him. But like you say, you put him up against other people, and yeah, he's huge over everybody else. It's crazy.
Like I never put together how like huge Hulk Hogan was up until I saw him in Rocky.
Oh, that's funny too, because Stallone's like a little guy.
Right.
He's not. He always looks big, but they
Stallone's
film
like
it from-
5'6".
Yeah, and then to put him in there with Hulk Hogan, you're just like, oh Jesus.
A lot of people don't know this, but in the Expendables movies, Arnold Schwarzenegger was actually on his knees during most of those.
Yeah, they would do all kinds of stuff like put lifts in his shoes and everything else, but that's crazy. It's like Terry Funk would show up in a movie, and it's like, what the? If you know who he was, you're like, hey, Terry Funk. He was like, you remember Al Leong?
Sounds very familiar.
So Al Leong, he played his biggest role that you'll probably recognize. He played Genghis Khan in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
You mean John Wayne?
What?
Yeah.
No.
No,
Not that Genghis Khan. No. Yeah, I remember John Wayne played Genghis Khan, but no. So Al Leong, that was probably his biggest role, but he's been in so many movies as just like this weird little side villain or side character, and he usually does a lot of the fight choreography and stuff like that. But he's been in like Bill and Ted, Die Hard, Big Trouble in Little China, Lethal Weapon. He's just always this weird little character off to the side that nobody ever. He's like, whoa, hey. So yeah, Al Leong and Terry Funk just showing up.
Well, up until recently, I'd put Carl Urban in that too.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't know he was a big deal until like later on.
Yeah, like he just had he played the little cuck boy in Lord of the Rings, and now he's Billy the Butcher. Well, he was the best Judge Dredd.
Star Trek movies.
Yeah,
he was.
Yeah, I got an argument about this, and I'm going to present it to you guys. Okay, if you took Carl Urban's Dredd and you put him in Sylvester Stallone's movie, like that universe, that futuristic kind, would that not have made the perfect movie?
I don't think so, because Stallone's was a lot more comic booky, where Carl Urban was a lot more gritty. And I swear to God, I wanted to fucking punch myself in the balls every time I had to listen to Sylvester Stallone go, "I knew you'd say that."
So basically what I'm saying is erase Sylvester Stallone out of that Judge Dredd, but put Carl Urban's character, and you put the grittiness in it too. But I like the stuff that, because I'm a big fan of the comic. I love the 2000 AD and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But like having the ABC robots, having all that kind of stuff in the movie that Carl Urban was in would have made it like, if an ABC robot would have showed up as like a security robot that he had to blow up or something, I'd have lost my shit. I just loved what the fuck was her name in the movie? Mama? Oh yeah.
I loved her.
Yeah.
I love the actress, but I loved her in that movie so fucking much. I thought she was a great villain for that movie. I hope they pick up more of them, and maybe we will see those robots.
Yeah. There's so many things I like I said, Judge Dredd is one of my favorite comics of all time.
Oh yeah.
So there is so many things, and they talked about doing a series on Netflix with Carl Urban. I mean, they see how the boys are doing, and they already got him on there. But if somebody would pick it up and do something, I would love to see Judge Death. I would love to see, the Robot Wars. Yes. I would love to see what was it called? The Apocalypse War. Oh my God, there is so many things that you could do that would just be so perfect with that version of Dredd, because that's it. They did it right. The costume was a little bit off and blah, 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 but he never took off his helmet. It was gritty like a mega city would have been. And they had, everything from the Lawgiver, oh my God, I love Dredd. I fucking loved it. They just need to do so much more with it.
It was just a big frowny man stomping everywhere and shooting people. That's all I needed.
It's seriously,
I dug the costume. I like the costume a shitload more than I like the Stallone one. And don't get me wrong, I really like the Stallone movie, but compared to Dredd, there's no.
Yeah.
I watched the Stallone one because it's incredibly fucking cheesy, and it's weird for me to think of what's the little guy's name? Rob
Schneider.
Rob Schneider. It's weird that at one point he was like kind of a heartthrob.
Rob Schneider.
What in the hell was this?
He was always like the kind, like in Beverly Hillbillies, he was like the good looking he's always the good looking slimy guy in those early 90s movies.
Okay, I remember Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah.
I remember that.
And at one point he was like good looking,
Deuce Bigelow.
And then Deuce Bigelow happens, and he's like, the whole point of that movie is that he's an ugly, weird little slimy man.
If they would have just killed that character off, or not have had it and all, that would have made it such a different but better movie.
And if they didn't have Sylvester Stallone saying, "I knew you'd say that" every 10 fucking seconds.
Yeah, there was so many. Go ahead, V. Sorry.
So they're both interesting movies to watch. I like them both in different ways. It's just like The Punisher. You got the one with Thomas Jane, and then you have Warzone. I like them both, but in two different ways. You get to see two different sides of the character. You get your comic booky style, and then you get your
you're
just like balls to the
omitting
wall
Dolph
grit.
Lundgren on purpose. I know it.
Fuck that movie, man. Dolph Lundgren tried to ruin so many different things in my childhood. He-Man, Punisher, fucking.
This is the
fucking
second
killed
time we've
Apollo
had
Creed.
this conversation,
Like,
and we
fuck
only
him.
have 7 episodes.
This is
That's
the
insane.
second time we've screamed about how Dolph Lundgren killed Big V's childhood.
Ugh.
He's still mad about it.
Yeah, Jesus. We're going to have Dolph Lundgren on the show just so you can...
The only thing I love about Dolph in the Expendables, how he's like that fucking, that stupid ass guy, but he's like not stupid. He's like
The only thing I like about Dolph Lundgren
nuclear
is how
physicist or some shit like
he's
that.
kind of just become a walking punchline.
Speaking of 80s nostalgia throwback, I started Cobra Kai. Dude, the first episode of Cobra Kai is fucking gold. I love that episode so fucking much.
I still need to
marked
watch
the
it.
fuck out. Oh my god. Okay, I didn't know if we'd all seen it or not, but
Zach, I thought you said you watched Cobra Kai.
go do yourself a favor, go and watch at least the first episode. Because the first episode is fucking gold. I loved it so much. I want to go back and just watch the first episode like 2-3 times. After you go through it, it gets a little teen drama-ish.
Oh, yeah.
But it's still good. It's still it's a great show.
I think I said I watched it because one night Big V was full of whiskey and called me and was screaming about it.
I believe that.
How many times have you just been full of whiskey and giving me calls?
I remember his birthday. I remember that.
Right.
But like I said, that first episode is fucking brilliant. I loved it. It's. I'm not going to get into it because you haven't seen it, but just do yourself the favor and watch at least the first episode. So that was all I had to say because you had mentioned Cobra Kai last week. But
keeping with all this, like staying on TV and keeping all these nostalgia shit. Did you guys see the WandaVision trailer?
Yeah. Yes, I did.
And I'm guessing we have thoughts on that.
It seems to me that this is going, and I might just be wishful thinking, that this may be their way of, I don't remember what the storyline was, like introducing mutants.
Yeah.
Where she ended all mutants. I forget what the storyline was. It's just killing me.
House of M.
House of M. There you go. I think this is their way of House of M. And I think that, I mean, it's funny that they pick up a lot of, if you're a comic fan, you'll pick up on all the stuff that they're doing, but they're making it coherent with the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
So, refresh my memory on this because I haven't sat down and watched Endgame in like several months. Is Vision still dead?
Yeah.
Okay.
He never came back.
Okay.
Yeah. So my understanding is that this show's supposed to tie into Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange and the madness of the multiverse?
Yes. Something like that. So
I think this may be the way to set up for that, as in she creates all these different alternate realities, she's going to screw with reality big time.
Well, that's kind of the crux of the whole trailer.
Yeah, so I mean, you look into it, and you look at, like you said, House of M, and then there's going to be a multiverse of things that her and Doctor Strange need to go and fix, which leaves the door open for millions of different possibilities as well. I like the trailer, though. I mean, it just basically went into it a little bit more from the teaser that we had from 6 months ago.
I really liked just had little snippets of them in their classic comic book costumes and how stupid they look in real life.
Oh, I don't know. See, as a kid growing up, that Scarlet Witch costume did a lot for me.
It's my sexual awakening.
Yeah.
I just want to go one episode without talking about you beating off.
I never said I did that. Jesus. You're going to ruin the pages and they're not worth anything after that.
Well, we would have graded it a 10, but there's protein stains on all these.
My love is pure. Don't tell me otherwise. Speaking of another sexual awakening and staying in line with this, but we can go back to it if you want to with the WandaVision. They cast She-Hulk.
Oh, yeah. I did see that.
If you guys have heard of
I did see that.
Yeah,
who was it again?
Tatiana Maslany?
So, are we just going to glaze over the fact that a giant green woman was your sexual awakening?
You know what? Yeah, I think we should. We've gotten way too far into my sexual escapades in this episode as it is, and I don't think people are going to be too happy with continuing to be forced to listen to it.
Anyway.
Yeah.
She-Hulk. Tatiana, what was it?
Maslany?
Maslany?
Maslany. Maslany. That's what I got in my notes here. So this is for the Disney Plus show, just like WandaVision. It's going to be a television show on Disney Plus.
Oh, I'm excited. And I'm excited for that. I'm excited for Loki.
Loki, yeah. It was funny. Was it the Super Bowl last year that they had all these previews come out for these shows?
Yeah. And then Falcon and the Winter Soldier is supposed to come out.
Yeah, that goes onto the list of shit that I'm really sad about that's not coming out. Along with Wonder Woman and Black Widow.
Are they going to push everything back, or are things going to be released in a different order? Or, I mean, with the movies we talked about, Black Widow basically took Eternal's spot, and they're going to push everything back.
Yeah, they have to push everything back because it's so the whole MCU is so. It has to be in this certain order. If you put one of them out of order, then nothing's going to make sense.
And it's like, I wonder if the Disney Plus shows are already done, and they're just waiting to let them go because things have to line up properly for anything to make sense.
Oh.
So here's my thing. Just play the fucking Black Widow movie because it has nothing to do with anything that hasn't already happened.
Has taught us anything. There's no money in just releasing those movies like that.
Well, there's no money.
They're going to hold off.
There's no money in paying for a service and then putting another paywall between this and the movie I want to watch.
Yeah, exactly. And they're still thinking that theaters are going to be a strong comeback when the virus lets up, and I don't see it happening.
It's not going to let up because we're going into the fucking season again. So it's and if we've learned anything about fucking viruses, how many times does the flu fucking change its fucking shit every year? So, thanks for pointing that out. Anyways, it's just like, so we've just got done. We're not even done with. I mean, we still haven't even fucking figured it out. People are still getting sick from the coronavirus, and we're now getting ready to go into the season again, which is going to be a mutated strand.
Yeah, the thing that's going to be weird with that too is because they're going to get the regular virus, the regular cold season, flu season, that's going to kill people. They're going to attribute it to COVID, and then everyone's going to be in a panic again, and all this stuff's going to get pushed back even further. It just hurt. Oh, yeah. Jesus. You've got the COVID.
No.
You heard my purposeful cough to make you all,
You also got to remember that CB smokes like a fucking chimney.
That's what I was going to just say. That sounds like there's hunks of phlegm in there. There's pieces.
No, that was me just coughing. Like, it's like everybody freaks out. It's like, I don't know. I'm so done with it. We need to, instead of trying to wait for it to be over, we need to figure out how to move on. I mean, and if it ever goes back to normal, but I mean, fuck, the world evolves all the time. So it's like, this is just one thing we have to adapt to and move on and
God, I hope
Yeah.
not.
consider it an everyday thing.
Well, I mean, not trying not to get too political or anything, because this isn't why we started this podcast.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of these issues will kind of be fixed, not fixed, but won't be issues come November. You know, I think a lot of things are going to change.
Yeah, they've
and I
already
think
kind of
things
put
are gonna
those.
be-
Yeah.
They've already kind of put those seeds out there. We're like, hey, there's a vaccine coming out in November.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think I'm going to wait till November before I pass judgment on, you know, whether I should start going on a rampage, because there's going to be no future, you know, whatever. But yeah, I just want things to get back to normal. And
fuck.
it's not just movies and everything. It's like concerts and you know, just going outside and wrestling and
Wrestling.
Just-
School, get these fucking kids out of my house.
It's school for my. Well, it's not even that. Like, you got to look at these kids, and it's no longer like grades; it's pass fail. So it's like you're making these kids like not strive for anything. It's like, oh, I can sit around and do absolutely.
We're gonna have a
shit
generation of
and
a bunch of kids that don't have any social skills if this keeps up. Not that many of them have any now, but
Anyway, off of the Corona corner.
yeah, I hate this shit.
I hate it so much. Exactly. I get away. I come on here with you guys. People listen to this to escape from that.
Yeah,
We probably don't have any thoughts on this yet because I just kind of scrolled past it. Mandalorian season 3 and 4 teased by Giancarlo Esposito.
Oh, nice. Hey, speaking of Mandalorian, this was on my list of things to talk about.
Okay.
Evidently, Pascal's like quit.
Yeah,
Mid-season?
I read that. I wasn't sure if it was like an actual thing, but I kind of did a deep dive into it.
Yeah, evidently. It's funny because we just brought up Dredd organically, but he's pissed because nobody knows who's under the Mandalorian helmet.
Because actually, isn't it like 3 people?
It might be. I think they use like one for stunts. They use one for a stand-in, and then his voice and stuff.
From what I understand of it, they use one for stunts, one for close combat, and then Pedro, what's his name?
Pascal.
Pedro Pascal was kind of just the all-around guy.
And I guess because of that, I mean, he had his one moment. Spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen Mandalorian season 1. He had his moment where he took the helmet off and everyone got to see him. But as an actor, he's kind of pissed because nobody really knows. It's like the #1 show and nobody knows he's the star.
Then he's not that good of an actor.
Dredd, Carl Urban.
Yeah.
I mean,
as much as it sucks, because as much as I do like him as an actor, like, you could get fucking anybody to play the Mandalorian and get somebody that kind of sounds alike.
Oh yeah, he's great.
Yeah, I mean, you could dub the
auto-tune
voice
or whatever
over whoever's in the costume, whoever's in the gear.
It just sounds to me like somebody's just like, well, I want to be on more merchandise because it's the Mandalorian's face on the merchandise, not mine. That's kind of what it sounds like to me.
I can see where he's coming from as an actor. That has, like I said, one of the #1 shows, and nobody associates him with the show because they can never see him.
That's fine because he's kind of an ugly motherfucker. So, like, I think he's
but it's one of those things. It's
with
like he's not Rey Mysterio Jr., where the mask is the man. It's as soon as they say cut, he pulls all that shit off and he goes off to the red carpets as himself, as Pascal. But Rey Mysterio, I mean, a couple of off pictures notwithstanding, he goes to Waffle House after a show. He's still Rey Mysterio Jr. in the mask for everything public,
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. I can see where he's coming from, but also with the Mandalorian mythology, you kind of gotta stick with it. Too,
Yeah, they established it early on as like just don't fucking take off your helmet.
Maybe he should have done some
instead of
research
looking at
before
that
he took the role.
sweet Disney paycheck.
Yeah, it just sounds like to me somebody's a little bit fucking overwhelmed that it's like, okay, so all these people's faces get shown, but not mine. People know he's under that fucking mask. He's just,
it's just like him being a prima donna and wanting his.
It's like
it's a way to get an extra paycheck because they're putting his face on Mandalorian merchandise instead of just the mask. And honestly, nobody gives a shit about him. It's all about the child.
Right.
Yeah. He's pissed because a rubber puppet is getting more fucking press than he is.
Oh.
Selling more merch than he is.
Let's be real. I would be too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Imagine, if you will, a world where Wonderful Zach Winters is selling T-shirts, but is getting outsold 10-1 by Paw Freakshine.
Shit.
Are you comparing Paw?
Look,
Paw is the baby Yoda
because they're
the
just
Freak
as
Show.
ugly as each other.
Well, yeah, but instead of like everybody loving him and thinking he's cute, he just horrifies people.
Yeah, but if you hand him something shiny, he stays relatively quiet and to himself for the whole time.
Oh man,
What the fuck you talking about? you
going on
For a second, you
Hey, we
hand him
love
something
Paw.
What
shiny.
the fuck?
Oh yeah, we love Paw.
I mean,
he's a great guy.
oh yeah,
I just like to make fun of him
Paw,
because
yeah.
it kind of looks like
we can,
if Yoda was 1,000 years old instead of 900.
he looks like a Yoda
my
Jeremy,
God.
like a Ron Jeremy and Yoda got together.
I never want to think about that again. So
Ron Jeremy from the waist
yeah.
down.
for the story
the
for
hog.
the listeners is the one time we decided to put our manager Paw Freakshine into a singlet, and man, we had to bump from a fucking PG-13 show to a rated R show quick.
It was an interesting night to say the
Looked like he
least.
was hiding a squirrel in his singlet. Like a fucking
I was
lawnmower.
thinking more of like a gerbil or a rabbit.
Love you, Paw.
Because you know he's gonna listen to it and he's gonna be, oh, why'd you guys make fun of me?
Oh, goddamn assholes! Yeah.
It's bad enough. It's bad enough he has to fucking sit on car rides with us, just fucking dicking with him.
We've almost gotten into so many accidents because he'll turn around to yell at you and
You know,
he's fucking driving.
You
Remember that time we were on the way from
goddamn-
Roseburg and
Turn
he
around,
almost
Paul.
straight up
Watch the
killed
road.
all
Watch
of
the
us?
road.
Ugh. There was that turn in the road and he just kept going into the field.
Yeah, I was legit like splayed out across the backseat of the van, dead asleep, and all of a sudden I'm on the floor and I hear Paw, what the fuck?
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You weren't even there for that
Yep,
one.
that's
Yeah.
the show I
It was
missed.
like our first show out in Power Pit Pro Wrestling. Fucking shit, man. It was
fucking-
2 hours. Ugh, it was an hour off of the freeway to go get him, and then an hour to get back on the freeway, and then we had to turn around and do the whole thing to fucking drop him off. It was. I got back to my car that I parked at the mall at like 4 o'clock in the fucking morning.
Yeah. I got home at midnight. I don't know what you're bitching about.
Fuck that.
Well, speaking with TV, because I got one last thing for TV.
Okay.
I know this is going to be kind of a big blow for Big V because I know he's a super fan, but they canceled Supergirl.
Oh no.
Fine, because I was never a big fan of Supergirl. Yeah, see, so I tried to watch
Yeah.
Supergirl when it was
I
on
think
with, CBS.
started there.
Yeah, it started there in the first 1 or 2 seasons, and then they brought it over to the CW, and so I watched all of it. And I'm like, okay, it was more my filler show. It was the one that was like, okay, nothing else is on, let's watch it, and mainly just watched it to tie into when they did crossovers. It got a little interesting, but it was never one of those things that grabbed me. It was like, I don't know. I'm not too sad to hear it being canceled. It's like, okay, get rid of it, move on, get something else going.
Yeah.
I mean, they already they ended Arrow.
Is it because Kryptonians
canceled
as a
Supergirl,
concept
that's
are kind of
fine.
fucking boring? Nothing?
Eh.
Nothing?
Anyways, as I was saying, so like I'm cool with them keeping the Flash and Legends of Tomorrow.
Well, isn't
I really wish
Constantine
they'd bring
on
Constantine
Legends of
back.
Tomorrow?
He's on Legends, but Legends is that show that's supposed to. It was really made to take all the side characters that all these other shows had,
Yeah.
bring them on, use them for a little bit, and cycle through. It's supposed to be a cycle through show. They said nobody's supposed to be on there really for
the main dude.
all that long. Well, you got the White Canary, and then you have Firestorm or Fire something, Rory, the guy from Prison Break. Those are really the only two they're the only two because Brandon Roth, he left the show last season.
No, who's the main guy? The guy that was in Doctor Who?
No, he's not even on there anymore. It's basically Sarah and Rory are the only two from the original.
Well, now they'll have Supergirl on
show that are left on.
It seems to be where if your show gets canceled, they'll throw you over on Legends of Tomorrow for a while. Because ABC was the original home for Constantine. They played, I think they got through the first season and then they canceled it. And I actually liked Constantine a lot, that show. It was pretty decent. Yeah, it seems like if it's on ABC, it gets a trial run.
Yeah.
And then they decide whether they want to put it on the CW afterward.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's
Did they say why they canceled
Probably
it?
because it's lack of Keanu Reeves.
Oh, for Constantine or for Supergirl?
Honestly, I wasn't paying attention to a fucking word. What are we? We're still talking about Supergirl?
I thought I heard you get up and take a shit right now. That's why you weren't saying anything.
I've been playing Sexual Void.
Oh. Fuck.
Yeah, you see, if Zach doesn't
He's
get
not
to
the
talk,
center of
he
attention.
does something else.
He's got a very limited...
Let's talk about the things I want to talk about.
He's like, oh, wait, what were we talking about? Wait, what were we talking about? Anyway,
yeah, so Supergirl's
heard.
gone, and Batwoman continues for some reason.
Yeah, they switched out the actress in that one. I watched maybe like one or two episodes of Batwoman.
Yeah.
It's just another one that didn't catch my interest. Eventually, I'll probably binge it just to like.
So,
see
as
what
an Arrowverse fan or a CW verse fan or whatever, if they had to replace it with another show, which character would you pick that you'd like to see in that type of a show and atmosphere?
Oh, to bring onto the CW? Well, I mean, they're already talking about doing the Green Lantern show over on HBO Max.
Well, okay, spoilers.
I would
for
like to see a
Arrowverse
Green
if
Lantern
nobody
show.
finished it. Didn't Diggle become a Green Lantern at the end? Isn't he Jon Stewart?
Right. So they give a few hints throughout this the whole series. At one point, they go to the air base that Hal Jordan was at, and then later on, I mean, his name's John. And then come to find out, his stepdad's last name is Stewart, so that makes him Jon Stewart. And then at the end, you see he ends up opening something, and there's a green light that shows. They don't necessarily show the actual ring or anything. It hints towards the fact that he's a Green Lantern, and he's hinted towards the fact that he is going to do this HBO show, but it hasn't been confirmed yet. Which, like, they just need to do already. They need to fix the Ryan Reynolds. I mean, you know, Ryan Reynolds shooting himself in the head before the script ever took place was okay, but it didn't fix the fact that we actually had that
was a little rough. So, of all the comic book movies that you can think of all the adaptations that they've done, what is just the worst that you've ever seen?
Green Lantern?
Is it Green Lantern?
That's the one that comes to my mind right now. Ooh, Wolverine Origins.
Yeah, that one was bad too.
Because Green Lantern,
I would throw one out.
Green Lantern was bad, but it did not oily fuck up Deadpool.
I'm gonna throw one out that is kind of from left field, but I fucking hated The Spirit. That was the worst movie I had ever seen.
Yeah.
Spirit. No, I agree. Origins was horrible. I mean, they fucking. I think what they were doing was trying to use characters. I mean, it was almost the same thing they did with the Fantastic Four movie that never made it. I think they had to put these characters on film to keep the rights to them. So they threw a bunch of fucking characters in, like the Blob. So I think they just took characters and threw them in.
Well, that's the reason we have 16 Spider-Man reboots before we get like the good ones.
Yeah, the first couple of them were really good. The Amazing Spider-Man movies. And then that third one was just trash. And the Amazings were... God, am I screwing them up? Okay, so Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire.
Yes.
The first two were good. The third one, it jumped the shark. It was just trash. And it's not Sam Raimi's fault. It's the studio, Sony, that was pushing him to put Venom and all this other crazy shit in. But, that's a whole nother story. The Amazing Spider-Mans, the first one was okay. The second one wasn't very good at all.
I will go as far as to saying the first one was good. The second one was okay.
And now you got the MCU ones, which, I mean, they're decent. My biggest complaint with those for an MCU, it's the Spider-Man for the MCU. It's not the Spider-Man that I'm used to that's just kind of like put together his own costume and figured out how to make web shooters and is out there on his own. He's got like Tony Stark technology pumping through him.
Well, he figured out how to make his own web shooters.
Yeah, but you never got to see that aspect of him just starting. And I'm not saying we need a 13th origin film for Spider-Man, but having him with all that crazy Stark tech in his suit just kind of took away a little bit of the struggling everyman aspect that makes Spider-Man so Spider-Man-ish, But that's my only problems with that. So
I think the whole rundown. I think Tobey Maguire was a good Peter Parker, but a shit Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield was a good Spider-Man, but shit Peter Parker.
Yep.
Tom Holland is best all around.
Yeah.
And I enjoy the Marvel Spider-Mans thoroughly. I love both of them.
Yeah, no, I enjoy them too. They're really good. They, like I say, they fit in perfect with the MCU.
I get what what you're saying about them, but do we really need another movie of him figuring out web shooters?
Oh, that's what I say. You don't need the 13th origin movie of Spider-Man. Everyone knows the story now. They did it the right way.
Yeah, and the idea of Tony Stark helping him out with his suit, I thought was great because it also, he gets the Iron Spider suit and it opens up more suit possibilities because now at where they're at with the story, he has basically all the Tony Stark tech he needs for new suits. But
unfortunately, he'll never have a use for the black suit, and we'll never get to see that crossover the way it's supposed to be.
The way it's supposed to be, but they're working on it.
Sony's trying to play in Marvel's sandbox and get Venom and Spider-Man together, which would be awesome. But
I'm excited about that because I am one of the 12 people who really liked Venom.
I liked it too. I guess we're 3 of the 12.
Yeah,
I love it.
Everybody else says it's shit, but I really liked it, and really
I liked it.
It's a movie where you get to see Tom Hardy just make weird grunting noises again, and usually
frozen tater tots.
That part actively made me gag in the theater when I saw it. I don't know what it was, but like he's eating the lobster with the shell on. That didn't bug me. He's eating chicken out of the garbage. That didn't bug me. The moment he puts frozen tater tots in his mouth and starts chewing them, that fucking got me. And I'm sitting there,
Those random shit just gets you.
Because there's nothing worse for me than biting into something and it's cold in the that is the worst. That and uncooked rice are the two things that will ruin a meal for me.
That's pretty disgusting. Or pasta, crunchy pasta and macaroni.
Yeah.
That's right along those lines too. But the thing I loved about Venom is the dynamic between the symbiote and Brock.
Well, it's Tom Hardy talking to himself.
I mean,
of course,
stuff
Tom
where
Hardy's
he's
going to have the
like-
best chemistry with Tom Hardy. But yeah, it was great.
pretty much. Like, or we could climb. He's like, no, I don't want to climb. Like, pussy. I was like, all right, I can get into this. This is pretty good. But I mean, Sony having the rights to the Spider-Man universe and then pumping out as many obscure villain origin stories as you can think of. Like, we got fucking Morbius coming out eventually.
Who the fuck gives a shit about Morbius? Remember
What I'm saying.
Remember
Who would have thought?
in the 90s Spider-Man cartoon when they couldn't really have him suck blood, so he sucked plasma through his hands.
Yep.
I need
It's
your
funny because
plasma, and he had holes in his hands.
That's the same thing. The same reason the comic book code wouldn't allow vampires, so they had to be Morbius, the living vampire. So it was the same thing with the cartoon. You can't have vampires. You can't have. So they had to do the same kind of gimmick, where he had to suck the plasma through his hands. He had like these weird badges on his hands that would suck out the plasma.
As a child who watched that, was way more disturbing.
Yeah, as a child, you know vampires. You understand the dynamic of vampires. And then you see this weird dude that's got little mouths on his hands.
What the fuck is
walking
this?
up to people. That was more terrifying.
That was
than if you
horrifying.
just left him a damn vampire.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's like what, Blade 3? Like, the movie wasn't that great, but fucking
That was 2.
the hybrid vampires fucking creeped the shit out of
Their
me.
jaws would open up sideways.
Like the way they're that was 2.
That was 2.
Yeah.
Scaly vampires, and the one goes in to drink the other one's blood, and his jaw just opens up. He's like, "What the fuck is this?"
Those Blade movies, man. The third one was a little bit lacking, but the first two were fucking great.
So the Blade movies, I love the third one. I don't love the third one as a movie. I love hearing the weird fucking stories coming out of it. Like,
this is the one where Wesley Snipes was just like out of his mind for half of it.
Yeah, and then like watch Patton Oswalt's interview about it, because he was talking about how he'd like come out of his Wesley Snipes would come out of his trailer in full Blade gimmick, and just this wall of pot smoke would follow him. And then him and the director got into such like a heated fight that Wesley Snipes would only communicate to the director with Post-it notes, and he'd sign every Post-it note as Blade.
That's awesome. That's so Wesley Snipes. Oh my god. Interesting stuff, but I don't know if you want to go into comic books now.
Let's get into comic books.
Or anything? Oh, here we go.
We're gonna listen to him drone on about Supergirl again.
No, I did.
Fuck.
No, Superman this time. Henry Cavill signed a 3-film deal. So
All right,
he's going
got me
to,
interested
we're going to
now.
at least get him as Superman for 3 more films. So he pitched like his ideas about how he wanted Superman to go, and I guess they loved it. And he it's guaranteed 3 films, and then there's also some side shit they're talking about possibly getting him in the Black Adam.
Well, he was
movie
in Shazam,
and Shazam 2.
Yeah, that was totally him in Shazam 1.
So yeah, and then it's bouncing back and forth with Ben Affleck being in the Flashpoint movie, but I guess they're talking about Ben Affleck doing an HBO Max.
I hope so.
You know, as cheesy as this may sound, I would actually love to see a Batman TV show that was sort of like Batman. What is it, Batman 66?
Shit.
Where it was like not cheesy like that, but just like, okay, it's like a villain of the week. You know, he gets, all right, there's plants overgrowing and overtaking the chemical plant. Let's go, Robin. And then they go, and it's Poison Ivy, and they face Poison Ivy. And then the next week, they're just kind of like standalone stories. I don't know if you do the long narrative show, because you can't fit a whole lot of stuff in there, you know? And there's so much stuff that I'd love to see that, I mean, don't do the fucking Joker. Don't do shit that we've already seen 1,000 times. You know, I like it. Hit some of those weird ones that we talked about. Hit Clayface. You know, hit Mr. Freeze, and don't make him Arnold Schwarzenegger. They got. Don't, you know, just chill. You know, that was
cool
just,
party.
My God, man. Yeah. but that is just one of the most quotable movies for the wrong damn reasons.
Oh, I love it.
You know,
I love it.
Make a crazy Mr. Freeze who's got zero fucking emotion to his voice, who's just dead inside, and is trying to find the cure for his wife and causing all this havoc, or do different stuff, because they think that the only people that people want to see is Joker or Two-Face.
I'm over the Joker personally.
Yeah.
Joker's a great villain, but it's how many times can you see him? It's give me some something different. Definitely something different.
Yeah, I would like. It would be awesome to see a season of Batman show where he's tracking down a serial killer that's ticking off little marks on his skin, and just for a whole season, make it like Silence of the Lambs, where he's getting clues, he's trying to figure out where the next victim's gonna be, blah blah blah, and then at the end he's got to fight Zaz or something like that,
like a boss battle.
I don't know. Yeah, kind of like that. Like, have the season build up to something, or have it so you get someone different in every episode.
No,
but don't just play to the ones that everyone knows. Get a little obscure. Go get weird. Make it. I mean, I'm not saying Kite Man, but which would be weird if they did it. But it would be awesome if they did it right.
I say resurrect Vincent Price for the Eggman.
Of all the damn villains you could have got him to play, why Eggman?
Fuck you. That was a great shit. I have this excellent plan to take down the Batman.
Fuck it. Have King Tut. Like, what the fuck? What is this?
2 eggs were walking down the street. One of them was fertilized. Not guilty. Just like he's the Eggman, but he's a weird sex pervert because he's Vincent Price.
All right, take that serial killer chasing down idea, but make it Professor Pig.
Oh yeah, now I'm on board.
That would be. See, I mean, God, if they just dig a little bit deeper than fucking Joker or Catwoman, or for God's sakes, he's got so many rogues. I mean, get the obscure ones in there, and it would get over. So, oh my God, I would love to see it, but I don't know. Ben Affleck in a Cinemax or HBO Max series would actually be pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, back to the original thing, Henry Cavill, 3 films. So I think definitely with the whole talk of the Flashpoint movie resetting everything, I think a bunch of people are on board about continuing on with the.
I mean, we got 1984. Wonder Woman, so that could, who knows if that's even going to stay in canon or not after Flashpoint. So it could be crazy, it could be anything and not matter what happened or how it impacts anything later on.
That's the other thing that was brought up there with the release of the Snyder cut of Justice League. They're talking about the possibility of a second Justice League being made. So I mean, we'll see. It's interesting. I mean, he hopped on. He signed a deal. He inputted his thoughts into it, and they like the idea he pitched.
I
so
know what we're not going to get, and that's Witcher season 3.
I mean,
I almost just hit you. I don't even know.
Well, season 2 he's already done with, right?
It was almost done with, and then I think shit went down with COVID.
All right, so you may get your season 2, but don't expect the season 3 now.
Don't do this to me.
Now you're gonna be worried. You're like, oh fuck.
Don't put that idea in my head.
Hey, we might get some more funky, weird CGI lips if he does multiple.
They got a
shows,
CGI out his white hair.
Do you guys not know that wigs
it's
are
all
a thing?
fucking CGI fucking hairpiece.
Yeah.
Well, that's all that is. It's a wig. He did dye his hair.
No, that's it. That's the only difference between Superman and Geralt is the hair. I mean, it's not like there was a mustache or anything, so that was the only thing that we could go for. All right,
it's Geralt.
Jesus.
Okay.
Is it Geralt of Rivendale or whatever the hell is that?
I'm gonna hit you. This motherfucker.
Zach's over there fucking biting his lips. Just going, motherfucker.
Rivendale was in Lord of the Rings, you uncultured
I
swine.
know.
And then a couple more things.
I was literally counting the seconds to see when he would fucking lose it.
Oh, man.
Now,
I
welcome
love
to Zach's
everything to do
rant.
with The Witcher. And yeah, I can't. I need this season 2 now. I need season 3.
But real quick, to finish off the movie so we can move on, I watched a couple movies this week. Death of a Vlogger. It was an interesting little, like, fucking thing. This dude said his house was haunted, started fucking vlogging things, got with some paranormal guy who, like, ended up fucking... he was kind of like one of those fucking paranormal shows who would fake things. Once everybody on this dude's vlog found out it was fake, they started like fucking shaming him and shit. And at one point, he ends up, it looks like he commits suicide or something and then fucking disappears. It was an interesting movie. I would say take a look at it. It's nothing that I would drop money on, but it was fun to watch. And then I watched a movie called No Escape. It's kind of a escape room hostel, like the movie Hostels, but with like an escape room feel. These people, this vlogger decides to, for his like 3 millionth episode, they go to Russia to film, and they get invited to this like exclusive escape room. When they get in there, it's more real than fake. And there's a pretty interesting twist at the end of the movie. And watching that gave me an idea.
Yes.
We should do one of our podcasts in an escape room. So while we're fucking trying to escape through this room, the fans can listen and hear us fucking curse and yell and scream.
Wait, why do I gotta be
Darkness, you fucking idiot. No, turn it left, not right.
Because you can't refer to yourself. Okay.
Hey, I was going to get there. Big V.
Oh, hey, come on.
I was going to say, Big V, get your fat ass off that table. It's weight sensitive. It's weight sensitive, damn it.
Sorry.
But no.
We got a couple of ideas for
go ahead.
Some special shows coming up.
Keep an eye out for
especially
videos.
with Halloween coming up. Yeah, we're going to try and get the videos started up. Talking about some Halloween stuff, possibly.
Let's leave it some surprises. Let's leave some surprises.
No. I don't remember when St. Patrick's Day is, but when I was a kid, there was some radio DJs that they would do drunk shows on St. Patrick's Day.
I do like that.
And I'm
I was going to say, you're assuming I'm doing the show sober.
Hey, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm drunk every time.
I don't know. There's lots of kind of ideas we got kicking around for you guys to hear us go through or figure out.
Stay tuned. Shit's going to get crazy.
Yeah, I figured after watching that movie, I'm like, hey, yeah, let's do our podcast.
Depending on how bad you fuck up, we'll see. Yeah. We may strangle your ass. No, I'm kidding. You could throw us across the room without even thinking about it. That's all you got for movies.
All right, so that's all I got.
Right, well,
that's all I got for movies.
With comic books, I mean, nothing really big that I can think of in the comic book world, but we got comic book club.
Yeah, we have 3.
I did. No, I picked up.
Oh yeah, that we need to go. We all 3 of us need to go
boxes
through.
Full of comic books that I was going through. I need to get you guys over to or something, but so we can look at them. But I will be watching at least Zach very careful because yes, although I don't get to respond all the time, I do see your comments. Fuck, you weren't supposed to tell them that. You were supposed to get those
out. And if you have any of those cheesy '90s enhanced covers, I just collect them just for fun. So let me know because I get like chromium covers, hologram covers.
Right.
Got there's a bullet hole through the cover. There's a plastic gem stuck to the front cover. All that stupid stuff. I love it. So if you find any of those, keep me in mind.
I might pocket a couple Punishers.
Well, the funny thing is, I went through. There's only like maybe 4 Punisher books. There's
nice.
A few Transmetropolitan.
Ooh.
I think there's like one or two saga. I think I can't remember. I was going through. I mean, these are two huge boxes, and I'm like, holy crap! I mean, there's some Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Avengers. There's a bunch of weird, obscured ones. There's a bunch of like
I'll be
House
over
of
tomorrow.
M, Son of M, but it's like some. There's Superman. There's a few Batman, but what's weird is they're not. Some of them have like
the one that was
quite a
worth
bit of the
anything.
run, but missing like one comic, probably. But it's just I was looking through. I was just so overwhelmed that I didn't have the time to like let my brain process it. It was like I got off of work, got them into the house.
So you got was it 2 long boxes?
Fuck.
All right, I will sneak out of my house and make my way down there. And I'll help you go through them if you want. I mean, it's cool when these come in because it's like no matter who it is. Because I've done this with a bunch of friends. Like they get these weird things at an auction, or hey, my grandma's uncle's sister, whatever the hell, got rid of a box, so they gave it to me. Going through that is fun for me, even if it's all yours. I'll be like, oh, dude, do you know what happens in this one? Here, hold on to this one. So I love that shit. If you get some time, like I said, I'll see if I can sneak out through the window some night and head on over there.
Me, on the other hand, I'll find like Avengers 1, and I'll be like, oh, this is worthless. I'll take it off your hands for you.
That sounds like Zach, though, doesn't it?
Zach's like, this is worthless, but my kid really loves it.
Here's a Superman 1 in mint condition. This is garbage.
Well, Superman 1 is garbage, so you need that Action Comics.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant. Fuck.
So the two of us, which one you want to come over there and help you out? He's not making much for his argument over there.
You see, you never let Zach come around with stuff like that unless it's at a distance. Like I've known Zach long enough. You don't bring him around food. You don't bring him around comic books. And you don't bring him around.
Say it, I was. That's awesome. Not because he's going to steal them away from you. It's just that he's going to insult the hell out of them, and they're going to walk off.
The shit that comes out of his mouth.
We want to get him in trouble with anybody. It's not.
I try to get you laid once, and all of a sudden I'm the bad guy.
He's like, you see the ball sack on that dude? He may not have a penis.
I'm trying to help you out. Dude. I don't know why you're mad at me.
Jesus fuck.
All right, so
anyways,
yeah. So comic book club, WE3. What did you guys think?
I'm trying to think of a way to put this. I liked it, but I hated it because it made me feel things besides hungry and horny.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'd like to say I'd keep reading it, but there's only 3 issues of it, so I won't.
The problem was, it was really hard for me to get through, but I enjoyed it. There was a lot of the WE1, WE3, boss, bad dog. It was the way it read, and a lot of times it was just a lot of visual. It just really like I'm like scrolling through, and I'm like I'm enjoying the artwork and everything, but it was like I guess it was a different way of looking at a comic book. It wasn't very there wasn't a lot of description or a lot of like stuff. It was just like very subtle single words, and then you would get like the humans talking, and then you're back to go home.
No,
it's making me hurt again.
0, not 1.
So for the people that didn't read it or that don't have any idea what we're talking about, WE3, it's a 3-issue series, and basically what it is they've taken animals and cybernetically enhanced them, and they basically make them assassins. So,
oh god.
It's one of those things, like we're saying, it's sad and it makes you feel. And
oh god.
He's gonna lose it over here. It's really good.
I equated it to the movie Requiem for a Dream. I enjoyed it. I'm glad I watched it or glad I read it. I'm never reading it again.
Yeah, it kicks you right in the feels.
Fuck.
Yeah, it was, and that was the thing. Like when you saw the
Yeah.
the missing ads.
Yeah,
I was
it's
just like,
it's a
oh,
tough read, but it's a good
fuck.
read, and like I say, it was one of the first things I read outside of superheroes, and it stays with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I almost stopped. I almost stopped just because of the fact that it was hard for me at first because it was like the way it was like laid out, and I was like, ugh. So I had to take a step back, and I was actually talking to somebody about it, and I was like, dude, it's like so interesting, but at the same time, I'm like having a hard time, and they're like, what do you mean? And I'm explaining it to them, and then that's when I was like, hey, what was the title again? Because I knew it was simple, but I was like, come on, what was it? And you guys told me, so I told them, and they looked it up, and they're like, dude, you're right. Like I'm enjoying it, but at the same time, I'm not wanting to continue. And I'm like, but you gotta continue. It's
Yes.
Once you get to the end, it's well worth it.
All right, well, that's We Three. It's a DC Vertigo title. It's only 3 issues, and it's kind of simple dialogue for some of it, and a lot of pretty pictures. If you guys want a quick read,
I hate you for this one.
Well, yeah. So V, it's your pick this week. What do you got?
Okay, it's my pick, but I'm also going to kind of give a little bit of an option here. So, like I said, I got a shit ton of comics, and through the thing, I got at least a full run of something. It's called
Marvels. Okay,
the Marvels Project. It's an 8 issue run. I got right there that I can start reading, or I kind of wanted to stick to. So like this, I know I haven't read, but I don't know if you guys have. And I kind of want to stick to the wild card. I was looking through some things here and found this thing called Once in Future. Once in Future Volume 1. The king is undead, long live the king. When a group of nationalists use an ancient artifact to bring a villain from a Thorian myth back from the dead to gain power, ex-monster hunter Bridget McGarry escapes her retirement home and pulls her unsuspected grandson Duncan, museum character, into a world of magic and mystic to defeat a legendary threat.
And do Marvels?
Yeah. None of that sounded interesting.
Okay, Marvel's Project, 8 issues, and it was by Marvel Comics, of course. So, all right, I will read that one. If you guys want to keep up with us, that's what we got.
All right.
All right, we got anything else pending, or?
Let's take it home.
That's it.
All right, so if you guys want to get a hold of us... Oh, wait, Jesus. All right. IWA, the wrestling promotion. This was a question that we got posed to us. Sorry, we're a bit of rush because we're about to lose our time here.
Yeah.
But so Sign Guy asked what our ideas or thoughts on IWA wrestling promotion was. So for me, IWA, he was talking about the American version, because IWA to me was the death matches in Japan.
Yeah.
But it was Ian Rotten's promotion.
Oh yeah.
And they're still running to this day. So they did a lot of death matches and stuff, but I guess they're kind of out of that aspect of it. That's all I really know about it. I know they're still running. And if you want to get us booked out there, Sign Guy, by all means, let us know.
Seems cool. Needs to book the freak show on there.
What about you, V? Do you know IWA?
I know a little, yeah. No, I mean, not a whole lot, but yeah.
Okay, well,
insightful.
Sorry to rush through that question, but yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got this episode in the books. If you need to get a hold of us, leave us a question, comment. Look up the Dark Asylum podcast. We have a website. We all have our own Facebooks. We have a Dark Asylum Facebook, and you can ask us questions through there. Get in contact with us.
And Twitter.
And Twitter. We have a Twitter, the Dark Asylum Pod at twitter.com. And yeah, reach out to us. Let us know you're out there. We got a new person from Australia, so hey, that's cool.
Tell
to
your
see.
friends, mate.
Yay. Other mates, tell your mates, friend, or wait, yeah, something like that.
God damn it.
Anyway, so for Zach Winters,
Yeah.
for Big Vicious, I am Darkness, and the asylum is closed.